Hey guys, Fire here, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Tram Simulator Urban Transit. This game is developed by Still Alive Studios, published by Astrogen Entertainment, and is currently available in the Xbox Store for a price starting at $20. It is on sale when I'm recording this, so you can kind of play the game a little bit right now if you'd like. So how does this game work? You're gonna be in a fictional city, and you're a trammer operator that's kind of starting to build out your business. And the way this works is you're going to be picking up passengers, taking them to locations, and delivering them off, all while building your network of trams together, creating routes in honestly what is a very beautiful looking game that is kind of overshadowed with a couple clunky things, and I wanted to talk about that right now. So when it comes to some of the visuals, so you can see the mini map in the bottom left of my screen down there. It's very clunky, and if you try to ever set like your own personal waypoint, you're gonna have a hard time really visualizing or seeing anything you have going on with said waypoints, to a point where it gets very difficult and challenging to kind of see how anything's going on. Additionally, the game does add some real life elements, but honestly, they're kind of overshadowed by the ability to just completely and utterly ignore them. You know, you can get penalties and violations for speeding, hitting cars, but it doesn't really do anything to you. So it's got content in there that just doesn't make sense, or content that just doesn't really hinder or benefit in any way with how the game kind of plays. Now, the missions aren't too bad. It's going to give you kind of set objectives, and that's kind of the main driver for the story mode with how the game wants you to play. You kind of just complete said tasks and hope to accomplish them in time. You've got set times that you're expected to reach your destinations based on the little clocks that you can see in the bottom left of your screen, and you're going to be just kind of pushing to build your service and empire the best you can. Now, visually, the game looks pretty good, but it's overshadowed with really clunky NPCs and then some not so smart AI cars that honestly do some really dumb stuff over time, which can be frustrating at times while you're playing. But visually, the city looks really good. I wish there was honestly more traffic in areas. You know, when you go into the downtown city area and you don't really experience much traffic, it's kind of takes you out of that kind of immersive experience, and just it's kind of a big, pretty miss for me. Now, there's two ways you can play the game. There's kind of a simulation mode, which is what I'm playing right now, and then there's also a mode that has you kind of just doing it almost like a sandbox relax variant. There's also an online multiplayer that, unfortunately, I have the game early, so I haven't been able to really try that out. I can't imagine it's going to be too much different than just kind of sandboxing and hanging out with your friends. But if I get an opportunity to try that out, I'll definitely let you know down in the comments what I think of that. I think it's a decent game, but it needs some quality of life fixes to really make it feel more authentic. You know, operating the tram's great, but the other content within the game really gives a kind of out of immersive experience when you're playing, as it just kind of just feels like it takes you out of the game that you're trying to play and be able to do, there's little opportunities, search your tram for missing stuff, or people have issues, but compared to some other recently released simulation games like taxi the taxi game that I recently featured on my channel, and even looking at games like Train Sim World, it's I think the game needs just a little bit of updates to kind of really push it over the top and make it a really fun and enjoyable experience. And that's kind of my overall thoughts on the game. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Any questions or concerns about the game you want to know, I'll be happy to answer what I can and what I know based on what I've played so far. Outside of that, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Let me know what you think down below again in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, consider hitting that thumbs up button. And if you're new here, maybe you'll subscribe to my channel. Outside of that, I hope to see you again soon.